President Obama used his news conference last night, marking 100 days in office, to again take on questions about torture. He stressed his view that waterboarding under the Bush administration was torture, and that information gained through harsh interrogations might have been obtained in other ways. More about these harsh CIA interrogations has come to light in recent days with the release of classified memos. And our chief investigative correspondent, Brian Ross, is here. Brian?
Charlie, there's new information about the frequency and severity of the use of waterboarding, contradicting some of our previous reporting, and new information about the individuals who apparently directed the brutal sessions the president calls torture.
The CIA's secret waterboarding program was designed and assured to be safe by two well-paid psychologists now working out of an unmarked office in this building in Spokane, Washington. This is the headquarters of Mitchell, Jessen and Associates, run by Bruce Jessen, seen here outside the building, and Jim Mitchell, who now has moved to Florida, both former military officers who both declined to talk with ABC News.
I have a non-disclosure agreement that will not allow me to comment.
Former U.S. officials say the two men were essentially the architects of the CIA's 10-step interrogation plan that culminated in waterboarding, demonstrated here. Associates say the two made good money doing it, boasting of being paid $1,000 a day by the CIA to oversee the use of the techniques on top al-Qaeda suspects at CIA secret sites.
I can't answer any of your questions.
The whole intense interrogation concept that we hear about is essentially their concept.
Both Mitchell and Jessen were previously involved in the U.S. military program to train pilots how to survive behind enemy lines and resist brutal tactics if captured. But it turns out neither Mitchell nor Jessen had any experience in conducting actual interrogations before the CIA hired them.
None at all.
None at all.
The new document showed the CIA later came to learn that the two psychologists' waterboard expertise was probably misrepresented, and thus there was no reason to believe it was medically safe or effective.
The use of these tactics tends to increase resistance on the part of the detainee to cooperating with us.
The new memos also show waterboarding was used with far greater frequency than initially indicated to even those in the CIA. Abu Zubaydah was waterboarded at least 83 times, and Khalid Sheikh Mohammed at least 183 times. That contradicts what former CIA officer John Kiriakou, who led the Zubaydah capture team, told ABC News in 2007, when he first revealed publicly that waterboarding had been used. He said then, based on top-secret reports he had access to, that Zubaydah had only been waterboarded once and then freely talked. Kiriakou now says he too was stunned to learn how often Zubaydah was waterboarded, in what Kiriakou says was clearly torture.
There's still a vigorous debate on what, if any, useful information came from the use of waterboarding. We may know more about that soon if a federal judge in New York agrees to make public the written logs of the interrogation session tapes, Charlie, which the CIA destroyed.